I'm going to take a bat to that muffler. That is going to be my last parting act of leaving here, is a bat to that muffler. Hi, how are ya? What's crackin'? I'm Jessie, and this is going to be my first ever YouTube vlog. Now, when I've thought about doing a YouTube for a while, just because like that's literally all I watch. And I thought like, ooh, let me be cool and try and be a beauty guru. No, just because you own a lot of makeup doesn't mean you actually should attempt to be a beauty guru. So instead, I figured what I would do is take you all along on the journey of an almost 34-year-old woman, a fairly independent woman, saying a big old fuck off to New York City and going back home. The reason that I wanted to take people with me and kind of go through this whole thing as a group is because in my heart, I think a lot of people can probably relate to having to kind of, you know, not bail, but say goodbye to, you know, a couple years of your life and to go and try and either start new or go back to something that you've already known. And so I hope to bring some type of humor to that, because moving is very stressful and annoying, and I'm old and crotchety, and now I don't, you know, boxes are heavy and I don't want to move any of my shit, but I kind of have to. I'm very possessive of my items. I don't want to sell them. So there's just a lot of things that go along with a move. And I think a lot of things that go along with leaving, you know, a big city and going back to, I mean, I'm going back to Denver. It's not that small of a city, but I have lived in New York City for the past 5.5 years. I came out here with the company that I worked for, who I'd been with for 7 years. But then in December of 2018, I took a severance agreement due to just a realignment. And so now I've been living off of a severance agreement since December, and it's nearly April, and that is terrifying. And of those 5.5 years, I think I should have realized probably about 3.5 years ago that New York and I we are not compatible. Like we just don't fit. And it took a long time to realize that. And it took, honestly, a therapist's appointment to really get that kick in the pants to be like, you know what? I fucking hate it here. I hate it. I see no good. There's like 3 good things that I could think of when it comes to actually being here in the city. And I realized that New York and I were very much staying together for the kid being my job. And now that the kid has flown the coop, there is no damn reason that New York and I should be staying together. It's just, we're not good for each other. And I don't want to continue that for myself. Now, New York is great for a lot of people. A lot of people can come here and blossom, and I've seen my friends do it. But for me, I very much started withering and dying inside. I think there's a stigma when it comes to kind of like big cities and really feeling like they kind of like, oh, they chew you up and spat you out, and now you have to go with like your tail between your legs crawling home. And I don't feel that way actually right now. It's more of like, I need to leave before I beat the shit out of this city, beat the shit out of somebody on the train. I am a nonviolent person, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop kick the kid upstairs if he doesn't stop running. I'm going to like duct tape the demon baby's mouth. Like, I need to go for everyone's safety and my future not being in jail. It's as simple as that. So when I really think about it, again, the main reason is that I don't like it here. But then there are so many subtle reasons of why I don't like it here. So let's start with one being, they don't lie when they say it's expensive. Rent is fucking out of this world for nothing. You get nothing. Like, nothing. And I don't understand it. I never understood it when I got here. You're paying like $6 for a fucking box of cereal. And you just, you start to also have to sort of edit how you shop and realize, like, if the bodega doesn't have what you need, you're not eating what you wanted to eat that night. So it's just like, meh, whatever. And they can kind of charge whatever they want because, you know, the necessity is there. So you're just shitting money out onto nothing. Like, you don't know where it went. All of a sudden you're like, why? I had a paycheck. It's gone now. Cool. Obviously, number 2 would be commuting and the MTA. And for anyone that has lived in New York City for any amount of time, and probably even when you come to visit, the MTA is a living hell. It really is. And I don't understand why they don't put more money into it. But it comes down to just like, you have these moments where you just feel yourself, like your soul is just leaving your body when it's 7 a.m. on a rush hour train and you want it to be quiet. And then all of a sudden this crazy ass person gets on the train and starts screaming about God knows what. Like, shout out to Subway Creatures. If you follow that on Instagram, that is literally every day. And you just get to be those moments where it's not funny anymore. And you think like, this is my day is ruined because of this. New York City's not that big, like mile wise. And, you know, like Jersey's only 10 miles from here. And in another community, like when I lived in Colorado, like 10 miles is not that bad. It's just an easy commute. But that shit takes like 3 hours to get to. And when you think of like dating, for example, if someone lives in the Bronx and I currently live in Queens, it better be like, I better really want it because mama ain't going all the way to the Bronx. I don't want to go to Brooklyn. Shit, just going into Manhattan is a pain and I hate it. And it's just those moments of like, here comes showtime. And you're like, I'm not in the mood for showtime. Showtime needs to get its ass out of this subway car and go to the next one. Like, there is no showtime. Thank you so much. Let's cancel that. Then we move on to tourists. I always just say tourists. So tourists, if you plan on coming to visit New York, like, figure your shit out before you get here. And when I say that, I mean, download a map, like a subway map app. Like, don't necessarily need to carry around a paper map. If you want to, cool. Also figure out that when you're trying to take a picture of Rockefeller Center or, I don't know, the Chrysler Building. Do people even take pictures of the Chrysler Building anymore? I don't know. Move your ass to the sidewalk, like to the side of the sidewalk. Get the fuck out of my way. I have places to be. Yes, you need to tailor your life and your experience to my needs. When you hear New Yorkers are rude, it most often comes from someone who visited New York. And I think that kind of speaks volumes to really what it is. Because New Yorkers they're not rude. Like, they really aren't. They're extraordinarily helpful and very kind. And sure, you're going to come across some ones that are a dick. Like, I'm probably more of a dick than they are. But to have someone go visit and then say like, oh, everyone was so rude. It's like, well, what were you doing to help the cause? My next one is happening right now. And that would be neighbors. To one side, I have a demon child, like a demon child, and 2 parents that I don't know understand how they can be as loud and annoying as they are. Above me, I have a fucking circus. I don't know what they do. I have actually had to go up and yell at them a few times, and they're always very apologetic, but I'm like, what is your child doing up at 3 a.m? Did your parents let you be up? I wasn't allowed to be up that late. And this kid, I'm talking like, it's not like a teenager. This is a toddler. A toddler is up at 3 a.m. I don't understand. God, what are you? Is it above me? I don't know who's doing what. Neighbors is something that just seems to be on another level here. And it is absolutely something that I am looking forward to not having to deal with for a while. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So fuck neighbors. Another big part for me of why I've grown to really dislike New York and living here is I am someone that needs to be forced to talk to people and I can be very social. But if I'm left to my own devices, I am very much a homebody. I just won't. The minute I get home, I'm home. It's a 15-minute walk to the subway station. I am not going to do that 15-minute walk at like 7 o'clock at night. That's just who I am. And part of it is through the transition of my job and sort of going from a store level to, a corporate level, I lost touch with people I was very close with, and I have sort of built most of my friendships and bonds through work. And taking that away, I've essentially I haven't lost the friendship, because we still consider each other friends, but there's no closeness anymore. And to have sort of lost that for the last probably 2 years, it's been very difficult, and there is no joking on that one. And I think it's been part of a huge struggle. And I think where I kept, staying here for the job, I also was staying here for certain people. But now that that's sort of out of my life and the job's out of my life, there is nothing. I hate this whole place. Those are just a few of the reasons why I hate New York. There's just some things that I don't necessarily think I can fully describe. It's just like, I enjoy Queens. Don't get me wrong. Queens is actually quite nice. But when I go into the city, and I mean Manhattan, and I just get off the train and I'm standing around and being like, this all sucks. I took an Uber into the city today, and as we're driving, I'm like, I am not going to miss any of this. And I think that's really a big accomplishment, if you will, of being like, yeah, this all can really go fuck off. Like, it can go fuck off. There are good things about living in New York City. Honestly, I tried to think of as many, but one of them, and I did mention, is the people. I have met some of the most incredible people here, from all over, because it's one of the biggest melting pots you can see. But if you come for a visit, give everyone a chance. And if you come here, like I guarantee you're going to meet some people, whether you continue very close friendships or not, they're still wonderful. There's a lot of really good food here. For me, it's a little overwhelming. I'm not the most adventurous person, so I very much stick with what I have learned to love and all of that, but damn, it's good. I will miss the shit out of some ramen, out of some pizza, out of some Thai food, so it's going to be a bummer. But the food is really great. One of my favorite things about living here in New York City is actually sort of the exclusiveness of, if there's a brand that does a special pop-up, chances are it's coming here to New York. Or if there's a more like obscure musical act, they're gonna come here to either perform in New York City or possibly just in like the Prudential Center in Jersey. So you are lucky that you get to be exposed to that. Like, I personally am a very big fan of K-pop. And so for the acts that have gone to, outside of Asia, they will come here to New York. And so I've been very, very lucky that I've gotten to see things that, had I stayed in Denver, I never would have gotten to experience. So I think that's definitely, it's a win for being here in New York City. But at this point, I've sort of experienced enough of those fun events and like cool things that show up that I've had my fill, and I'm ready. Like, I don't need it anymore. I mean, I am totally going to fly back for the BTS arena concert or stadium concert, but that paints a pretty good picture of, it's part of the reasons why I want to leave New York. And it's an awful place, and we don't belong together. Some things I did enjoy about being here. I enjoyed a lot. I had a very good run for 5.5 years being here, but it is time to close the book, and move on to a new book, with that. And so this will potentially just be video one of a few. And I think getting to sort of see maybe a time-lapse version of what it takes to move and what it really will be like, and how because I don't feel like ashamed or like a failure that I'm going back to my parents' place. It's not something that I have any sort of, hesitance on, or that people might judge me based on it, it's something that I'm actually quite looking forward to. But who knows in a month if that feeling will change. Like I said, I kind of want to bring people along with me, whether anyone actually watches or not. I think it'd be fun to share my story, and I hope that people can find something to relate to with it. And I know that this wasn't the most funniest. I hope that anyone will want to continue on this adventure with me until I get back to Colorado. It's going to be about a month long, and we'll see what happens from there, and trying to find a job, which, you know, is a bitch. It's a bitch. Unemployment rate, man. I know it's low, but it's a fucking bitch to find a job. We'll just kind of see where it goes and see how good at this vlogging thing I can attempt to be. Talking is about the only thing I'm good at, and even then I seem very mediocre on it in this video. So trust me, I'm better than this. It's just, you know, introductory time. So thanks for watching. I'm not going to do that spiel because you can do whatever you want if you want to keep watching. So catch you later. Bill and Ted 3 is coming out. Anyway, bye. Why is this so hard? It's just saying hi. Fuck. Let me get my shoe soda, because it's in my shoe. I am a complainer. Like, own it. I like to complain about things. What are you gonna do? I'm dying. I just want to start this video for me to see later as I attempt to edit this. Just fuck off. Yay! Let's go. And I am out of focus. That's great. Oh, God. I think my neighbors might be listening. I don't know. What are you doing next door? God. Ugh. Fuck off.